Good morning, everyone. Hi, Steve. Hi, traders. Today is Friday, the 7th of August. Unbelievably. Time passes by so fast. Yeah,
It's
and big day
so
today.
fast. Yeah,
Hi, Steve. How are you? How's it going?
everything's good, Henry. It's a big morning or big day for everyone all around the world. We have NFP. It's high volatility, my friends. A lot of people, or actually, you know what? Most people already know their plan. The trading setups are going to be patient. But for the ones that can't be patient, it have to just have to enter, Henry. You know what? Join the stream, you guys. Let us help you out. Let us calm you down, your mindset. What do you think,
Steve,
Henry?
this is why the stream exists because the people don't have pre-planned. This is what we're helping them with.
Well, I'm just trying to, try to benefit everyone. Just try to be positive. 99% of you are ready, but the 1% who are not ready, welcome to the stream.
Yeah, guys, you need to understand we're playing with Steve always good cup, bad cup, and Steve is always the good one, and I'm always pressuring everyone. So yeah, hi, welcome to the show. Quick reminder, guys, everything we're saying, don't take it for granted. It's just our own opinion here. So yeah, big day today, NFPs, and Steve, let's talk about it.
Yeah,
Sorry.
before we get into NFP, we see a little headline with Trump, and of course, Henry, is there a deal on the table? There's
Good
no deal on
morning,
the table.
DJ Pro. Hi, hi,
Yeah,
hi.
happy NFP. And yeah, Henry, I just want to quickly note, yeah, because they said Tuesday, Wednesday, we're gonna have a deal. Is there something I missed, Henry? Is there a deal on the table? What's going on? Because markets are selling
There's
off a bit now.
There's nothing on the table. There's
Nothing on
it's basically just buying time, right?
the table.
Just buying time and calming the markets down. I just have seen a couple of days ago a statistic that the actual price of Brent oil or crude oil is like 15 to 20% higher, like of what we see from the headline price. And so it's all cosmetics, right? But at one
Yeah,
point, sooner than later, once demand picks up dramatically for the autumn, for winter, and God beware, it's going to be a cold winter. Then they will not be able to suppress the official headline price any longer. Yeah, yeah. But let's talk about it. Iran. I mean, I've been talking about it for the last couple of months, like especially weeks, right? But MOU being on the table, 60 days. MOU 2.0, what they're currently discussing, another 60 days. The point is, as long as the main topic is not being resolved, and the topic is basically that the US wants the strait to be open, no charges, nothing like, but basically how the situation has been half a year ago, right? Before they started. So they want it back, but, and that's a good point of Iran. They're like, recognize that they have some leverage there. And once you see that you have leverage, and why should you give it back, right?
yeah,
And
exactly.
so not especially it's like their defense line, right? It's like there's something they can it's actually the only thing that protects them, to be honest. It's actually like the Strait of Hormuz is the only thing that protects them. So yeah, no surprise there. And but I think the markets are, for the time being, as long as there's no like real escalation or no definitive path forward, like neither a yes nor a clear no,
Yeah,
um, markets are calm, right? And so, as we said, markets basically waiting for the NFP and NFPs. That's exactly what happened. We have also
yeah,
seen some. I'm gonna talk about the charts in a couple of minutes, guys. But it's basically what we have been talking about a couple of days ago, that we might see going into the NFPs a kind of pullback, right, retracement, and yeah. So Steve, let's. We have another couple of minutes before
yeah.
I
All,
prepare
all
some
we know,
stuff to
Henry.
show. So yeah, let's go.
Yeah, thanks, Henry. Yeah. So I was just gonna say quickly. All we know, you guys, is that these political figures, these CEOs, they like to play games. They're always playing games. But the one entity that never plays games, that's truly the most honest, is the market. The market always shows us the reality of each product, of each company. It's how it is. I saw an interview with one of the Citibank traders, and he truly said there's nothing more efficient than markets, and it's truly the fact. There's nothing more efficient than it, Henry.
Wow, well, I agree to a certain point over the long haul, like 10, 20 years.
It's true
Definitely,
though,
but
right? Because he was just quickly
yeah.
saying how when you compare the open auction and the closing auction
Yeah.
is when their actual traders enter the market, which is just a few minutes into the open and the close, which you unload. But they said 99% it's all algo driven, which and on the whole purpose of the algo is to create efficiency in the market. So that's my point. That's the purpose. Until that headline comes in and there's a big algo spike or big volatility spike. But anyways, guys, let's get into the news. We're expecting big volatility. Be prepared. It's happening in about less than 15 minutes right now. You know, we don't do this too often, but we reroute the time just so it's NFP day. Let's change things up a little bit. You
Having
guys.
some fun.
Let's have
Going
some
to
fun.
the NFPs.
So quickly,
Okay.
let's dive into it. So the average earnings forecast about 0.3. Actual, let's see what happens there. I can't really predict, you guys, what the figure is going to be. All we can do is just to be aware of the numbers and see if there's a big spread and a big reaction. NFP forecast is 85K, so forecast is actually much higher than previous 57K. That's going to be interesting for the month of July. And unemployment 4.2, forecast staying the same as previous 4.2 as well. Three numbers, you guys. One market moving release. So yeah, why does this matter for indices? The data decides how fast the Fed will cut rates or raise rates in the future. Sorry, not cut rates. I don't think we're cutting rates anytime soon. Possibly raising rates because I keep seeing that on headlines. It's not official yet, so let's see. Weaker jobs equals weaker or softer economy, more room for rate cuts or heights if it's the other way around, you guys. So let's see if this is going to be fuel to risk on assets or bring them back to balance to the downside. So yeah, let's see, guys. Billions of dollars will be traded. Even more will be traded once New York Open hits an hour after. That's what we are always looking for. But yeah, we have to be aware. So what is the current move? Or sorry, the current mood right now in Nasdaq? It's no surprise, you guys. We are walking a tight rope, Henry, right now. Tight consolidation. No volatility. It's no surprise because we have a big event coming up. Nothing really going on pre-market. No major headlines. I saw there was some sort of German news that came out, Henry, but we don't have to get it. If you want, we can get into the German news, but no.
Nobody cares today. Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
Maybe another time we can look at the DAX or German news. If anyone's interested, of course. This is why we always say, you guys, like, subscribe, comment, give us some questions. Tell us what you're trading. Because, there's traders all over. Not everyone's trading Nasdaq, even though we know majority of you are. But we got some DAX traders as well, Henry. There's always some there.
Yeah,
So,
but
yeah.
today is NFP day. Today is no
Sorry,
space.
today's it.
No space for Germany. We can talk about Germany later before.
Yeah. Market
before we
ranking
go
is
into
still neutral, you guys, because tight consolidation. All indices are doing pretty much the same thing. And what you could say as well, the whole purpose of a tight consolidation is they're getting positioned for volatility. This is the whole aspect, you guys, okay? So there's no surprises beforehand. The surprise will come after the fact. So this is the whole point for consolidation because, the algos haven't kicked in. Usually the algos don't kick in until after New York Open, after the huge load of volume is entering the market. Where do we have our last New York Open? Last New York Open was yesterday, right around 29,336. So for the overall mood of Nasdaq, you can say we're bullish, you guys, but things could change quite quickly. We are up about from yesterday's New York Open, right around 1%, which is 300 points in Nasdaq. So yeah, that's all I got, Henry, for now for news and overall mood. What do you think, my friend?
Yeah, perfect. All right, let me take over from here. Change.
But we gotta have a countdown. We can't miss it, Henry, because sometimes we miss the New York Open.
Yeah, I have to.
I'll be vigilant.
Can I
I'll
make
watch
Can I make
very closely.
Yeah, so okay, doesn't matter. Let's quickly talk it through. All right, guys. Our average hourly earnings, non-farm employment change, unemployment rate, right? So basically, and obviously, this is what everyone is watching. Yeah, unemployment rate, but most importantly is this number here. That's number 1, and then number 2, number 3. That's basically what everyone is watching. And I prepared here some stuff. little scenario analysis. So basically, if we're coming hot, if we're coming in way too hot, means 120,000, and the wages are also going down. So that's basically a sign that the economy is soft, and therefore they might think, all right, there will be no rate hikes, maybe even rate cuts, or at least sooner rate cuts, right? And the yields will also come down. So that's the based scenario for the NQ. Then very weak numbers and unemployment rises. So this is basically not too bad initially. So it's plus, but then the question remains, what comes next? And this scenario is basically what it makes is initially the algos will pick the number up and they're like, all right, party, we might see a kind of soft landing or whatever. Um, and the Fed might need to cut or to hold for a longer period, or like they will cut sooner. But then, if everything is so weak, then the traders on the Wall Street might reconsider this situation and like, oh, all right, but if it's so weak, maybe the economy is falling apart, right? And then at one point, news will start to matter. And so this might be a scenario that nobody wants because it's like not a clear one what's the actual path is, and it might be a complicated game. Yeah, weak headline, strong revisions. That's yeah, as I saw here, as I write here, whipsaw risk. Weak headline means the number is weak, but from the previous months they revised it up. So all right, it's just a temporary thing, right? That the number is weak, but the last months were strong, and then so that's basically like this. Strong headline, big downward reversions. So you see, guys, it's multiple scenarios analysis here. So it's not as straightforward just seeing one number. And so, and here, this one is actually better describes it. So I searched through some banks. They had some like preparation stuff in terms of expected volatility, and it's more or less the same, right? So it's basically this year the only real green one, Goldilocks scenario, like softer than we're currently expecting, but not as soft, and the wages are coming down. So this might have the strongest initial impulse, but then the market will like reconsider this thing afterwards depending on the actual numbers. So, and guys, again, this is nothing where you can expect a clear move. It's gonna be messy, so it really depends on how it comes in.
Nothing's
The
ever
algos,
clear.
yeah, the algos will pop, and then everyone will be watching, all right, what are the revisions, what is actually going on. And this is why we're saying never trade the initial move, because it's usually what it does, it's like straight line, and then, but we're talking here about maybe 15 to 30 seconds. So we're talking here, I mean, it's 4 minutes.
Yeah, 4 minutes.
15 to 30 seconds, it's basically the initial algo play, right? And this is like a white box, so there's no volume there. So if you have a small order, 50, 100 lots, you can push the market. And then afterwards, it's the second round, and then they either comes down again, or it continues popping. And then after a couple of minutes, everything calms down, and then the humans are coming in because then they are basically starting to watch, and they have rethought the whole thing, riffing the whole thing, and they will be
That's
like,
how
oh,
it works, you
alright.
guys. Yeah, like Henry said, like New York Open comes in, the actual traders come in from the Citibank, the Goldman, and then the algos get turned on once again right after the auction's done. So that's kind of how the market
But I can
works.
tell you, on a day like today, NFP day, all the big traders, they're already there. Nobody, like from the banks and hedge funds, nobody is missing NFP. So they are all in early. They are all in already since 7 in the morning, the latest. And then they have their market talk, the preparation. Some of them have had already their preparations yesterday afternoon into the market close. So those guys are prepared, guys. This is why we have the show, for you to be prepared to think through. And it doesn't matter if you understand all of this, but it's just for you to realize that there's more to it than just seeing the headline number. but all the pros, they're basically seeing all the different nuances that go inside into the NFP, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And
Just want to say,
yeah,
yeah,
so
greetings, Roseanne. Yeah, let us know if you have any questions. We're a few minutes away, you guys. Quickly, Henry, I wanted to just, not make it better or anything, just for some fun. We have it in about 2.5 minutes. It says NFP. What do you think? Are we beating the 85K? Or are we not beating? And also with the unemployment rate, are we gonna beat it, or is it gonna be steady? What do you think? Just for fun, Henry. What do you think?
um,
Your personal opinion.
I mean, that's the thing, right? The market looks bullish, so it's strong upside leg, correction, and now it looks like that, like kind of that we try to accept the trend line. So I have two scenarios in that I really like. That
Quickly,
I
my
think
friend, we have
that
2 minutes. Beat
yeah,
or
all right, all
miss?
right. So
Yeah.
first scenario. Wait, let me show you. First scenario is basically we're coming down, testing this area, the trend line, and then we pop higher, or we are popping higher straight away. Those are like my bullish scenarios, right? And for the bearish side, I don't care too much because for me personally, at this place, I would rather look to the upside. No financial advice here, but I would rather look to the upside than to the downside. If we are really like breaking below here on the hourly chart after the US Open, so like by 10, 11 a.m., right? Like 1.5, 2 hours after the market close, and we are sitting underneath the lows, then I might think about short side. But for the time being, if I'm not like a full-time professional trader, like I don't have so much time to trade, I'm only trading with the trend. All right, let's see. Let's have some fun, guys.
Beat or
We
miss,
are
Henry? What are you calling?
basically I played around with some indicators here, guys, to see how we can help you. Oops, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we have about
Yes.
40 seconds left.
All right, let's go. We go to the 1 minute. We go to the 30-second chart. So yeah, Steve, what's your bet? Higher? I say higher.
I say miss everything.
Miss everything. Oha.
Everything. We're gonna miss it, Henry.
Okay, I'm
July,
curious. I want to see it.
even though, yeah, July was the World Cup month. Unemployment rate, but you never know. Let's see a surprise in the market. I want to see a surprise. Let's see a big
Guys,
miss.
if you have if you have a bet, make a bet, guys.
Let's see the miss. Coming in 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, bang.
ES spikes higher. Oh, ES spikes higher.
News is still pending. Let's see what we get.
Ooh, look at this. Minus 23. Holy moly.
What did I say, Henry?
Holy moly. Okay, and what did we have here in our scenario?
Oh, and
We had
unemployment's a miss as well. 4.1.
So we had here soft
No, but
wages
sorry, you guys.
and
No,
40 to 80.
yeah, 40, 80, yeah, but no, but 4.1, remember, you guys, no, sorry, not a miss. It's actually a beat because unemployment went down, so it's good for the, economy. But
I mean,
NFP is negative. Interesting.
I mean, unemployment goes down, average, all the earnings.
Down as well, yeah. Yeah, so average hourly earnings down, NFP down, but unemployment rate is positive, 4.1. Interesting.
Revised. Oh, look, and previous month has been revised from 57 to 20. Yeah, guys, that's what I said here. That's actually one of the worst scenarios. Like
Oh no.
it's initially green, blue. Sorry, green. But okay, I have here unemployment rises. But because all the other twos are so weak, that's actually like all right. We have this initial reaction, but what happens? So and again, never fight a trend. So the trend, as long as the trend is to the upside, and as Steve would like to say, our current point of interest is basically the trend line is basically the news event.
And Henry, we're only up. it only spiked about 94 points, Nasdaq.
Yeah,
So
because
it
I
wasn't
think
a
the
big
market.
one.
Yeah, because I think it's a hard interpretation for the market. Because if you want to see
Yeah.
it like this is negative, and the revision is negative, but the unemployment
It was strong.
is is stronger, and so now like everyone tries to make sense of it. All right, what's more important, right?
The algorithm is confused, Henry. The algorithm is confused,
I
man.
mean, to be honest, what I really don't like here is that it was like for a strong bullish scenario is the fact that the revision has been so strong from already week 57 to 20. So this is what I think also
Yeah.
kind of showcases, um, makes the point. All right, the economy might be weaker than expected, but then again, guys, the Wall Street, what are the earnings? What is AI doing, right? So, and Wall Street, sometimes it just follows its narrative, and then they're gonna say like, yes, earnings have been good, so it's just a blob outlier in the summer months, and the path forward is to the bull side because the Fed now has to either to cut rates or to cut rates sooner, right? So,
Yeah.
and as long as the narrative lives and the belief is there for the Fed to do it, it's to the upside. So there, and therefore, that's what I'm saying, guys. This is why it's so important to be prepared and not just to trade blindly.
Be prepared. Don't trade blindly. And I like to say sorry to the gamblers who thought they were going to pass 20 accounts today on I'm not going to say the proper names, but usually they pick the days like this because they think we're going to get a 300, 400 point spike within seconds. But to the gamblers, I'm sorry, guys, but we only got 94 points. So you're not
Are
passing
they
any accounts today.
are they even allowed to trade during news events?
Some, no, yeah, there are some firms where the red calendar news is allowed, and I'm not gonna,
Okay.
we're not gonna be specific.
Okay.
We're not gonna say any names, of course. We know we focus on per day, you guys. We focus on the long term goals of traders here, not the short term, but for the short term traders, this was a really bad day because it barely spiked and not even 100 points. So, yeah,
Yeah, but the thing is with volatility like this, right? During NFP, even if you have limit orders, first of all, it doesn't mean that you will be filled. It doesn't mean that you will be filled if you get filled on all accounts. It
yeah,
doesn't mean that you will be filled at the point where you want, because though even if you have limit order, it doesn't mean anything. And again, do you have a stop? Don't you have a stop? I mean, actually, in this scenario, if you're like if you are totally all in in one directional, and like on the long side, you might even survive it, right? If you didn't take like the whole maximum amount of contracts, you might have
yeah.
even survived it. But yeah, guys, it's not sustainable trading, right? It's just people gambling around for the next payout, but this is not the path that brings you to a long-term consistent traders. And I think those are the two areas to watch here, basically, in and ES and NQ. And it doesn't like currently it doesn't look too strong to me, to be honest. It's bullish, but again, we talked about it. Wait for the US market to open, and then anything can happen, right? So I would say we can take the high here. Let's make it another color. Let's make it yellow for the long side.
Yeah, this
And
could be the range for the next 45, 50 minutes
yeah.
until New York comes out, you guys, until the open auction.
So that's basically the area that I'm watching, and I would recommend you to watch, guys. If we open in like let's say nothing happens during the now before US opens and we stay within the range, then I would be really really cautious and careful to trade the US open. If we're sitting above, that might be a strong indication for a continuation pattern to the bull side, but still doesn't mean that they might not reverse, right? And yeah, I mean, it's what we mentioned here. It's actually like initially NQ bounces, then growth here possible, and that's exactly what happened. So therefore, yeah,
Yes, appreciate
again,
you guys.
grab a coffee.
Grab a
Yeah,
coffee. Yeah. Good
well, we have
morning.
to
Trader
say we
double
have to.
seven.
Yeah, we need to bring them up. Have your plan. Good morning, daily impulse. Good morning. I mean, who is trading the volatility? Well, we don't. We don't.
We're sitting back, my friend.
Actually, next time I can bring up some Podia accounts so we can see it in real time how the market blips around, and it might be something fun to do. And yeah, Trader 07. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, guys, some for you who might just have tuned in, we had this little preparation here for the markets to react: bearish, neutral, bullish with question mark, and then here some scenarios. This is how you should go in those days like this in advance, and to think about possible scenarios to trade through. And yeah, let me close this up. So yeah, for the time being, market reacts bullishly, and I'm actually quite sure that some news will pop up that Wall Street expect, like if we continue higher, right? There will be some news that the Wall Street expects now the Fed to cut rates and things like this. I mean, even maybe Fed speakers themselves will come up and talk about it, right?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I
So
know. No, definitely be some Fed speakers, especially on a day like today. It's Friday, first week of the month, so no major expiries either. Henry, just watching the markets right now. Yeah, Nasdaq just breaking out right now, but yeah, nothing major, you guys. So far on the list of the market ranking, I've NQ the strongest so far, pulling away. Never retested yesterday's open, and yeah, market is still digesting the news. And most importantly, yeah, we gotta wait till the open. I just quickly want to also just talk about you guys because so many traders they talk about their emotions. They say you know most of the time they're able to control them, but there's always rare opportunities where they have FOMO. They enter accounts which they shouldn't, whether they're challenge accounts or funded accounts. You guys, I've been there. We've all been there, you guys. Sometime in the past, most of us have. Big events like NFP don't just move the market. You're always moving your emotions, adrenaline, dopamine, cortisol levels spiking. You guys, it's we're all humans. You guys, like what do I do myself? I always take supplements, calm myself down. I take magnesium. I take omegas as well. I think it always helps, because if you're only drinking coffee and water, it's it's so early in the morning for me right now where Henry's waking me up. We gotta hit NFP, of course. Then I have to drink coffee because Henry's already wide awake. He's supercharged for the day for where he is in the world, but where I am in the world, oof. I'm so far west where I need coffee, but you guys, I'm always taking supplements as well because I know my dopamine, my cortisol, it's going to be skyrocketing once New York opens, and I'm planning to take on some risk in the market. But that's just the nature of being a trader, you guys. You always need to prepare yourself on that, not only on the strategic side on risk management, but also on the health side because as Henry knows, when he was a full time trader, it's pretty wild. And once your heart starts pumping, you're not able to control your emotions. You cannot control your trades. So always remember that, you guys. Always pre-commit to each and every day. You don't have to trade every day, like I do or like other traders. First and foremost, I'm always a trader. Also provide some content online because we need to provide some value as well. You can't just only be trading. That's why I had to give offer a partnership with Perdia, with Henry and the team because they have the same vision for long-term goals, same as I do, you guys. I'm not quick in and out of these challenges. I'm looking for the long-term live account. That's what we do here at Purdy, you guys. So yeah, any questions, like and subscribe. Right, Henry? That's always the goal. And then you also had the CEO come out, start streaming as well. He was answering a lot of the questions for the goal of the company. And when I saw the physical address, Henry, I'm not gonna lie, I looked pretty interesting because there's not too many prop firms out there, you guys, that actually hold seats, physical seats, for co-working, for business to business among traders, because that is definitely one thing that is missed, like the olden days where they used to be shoulder to shoulder, trading together. That's one thing that's missed because everything's virtual right now. You guys, it's a lonely business. So
Yeah, but there's a small side note. Back in the days when there were those physical prop trading firms, I mean, there's still some around, but not too many as it used to be. And like it was super hard to get into the good ones. So
yeah,
it's not. So today, guys, I can tell you it's much easier and much more straightforward to get into prop trading as it used to be back in the day.
yeah. But if you're able to get in, then I tell you that's one crazy experience. Like I've done, I've done a few co-working, not so much trading, but just co-working because I'm, guys, I'm self-employed. I'm a corporation, but if you're able to get to that co-working physical office, I would highly recommend it because it brings back because we're humans, you guys. We need to interact. We cannot always just be alone on the computers, even if you're on Zooms, you're on meetings. I think that human interaction is quite important, which is why I thought it was interesting that Jonas CEO brought that up because that's a cool aspect to bring forward in the future. And maybe one day you guys will see Henry and I side by side working. That would be fun, wouldn't it, Henry? What do you think? Have some conversations, put on some trades.
I would watch over your shoulder and Steve, trade more
Straight
trades.
up.
Just kidding, guys. Just kidding. It's always the biggest misconception that people have that they need to trade all time, all day long. That's definitely not the case. It's a waiting game, guys. It's the waiting game.
Yeah, it's a
There's
waiting game, you guys. And you feel the rush. If you need to overtrade, there's one simple thing: lock out your broker, close it down. Most prop firms and brokers have the feature. Just set a timer. You guys go outside, take a walk, drink some water, stretch, do something that you enjoy. Either if it's biking, running, playing some tennis, going to the gym. Get out of the chaos. Market's always going to be back for more opportunity, especially what I said before. Where in between the opening and closing auction of the day, it's algo driven, and if your setup and your edge always does well during the algo trading, then there's always going to be plenty of opportunity, you guys. Markets open about 6.5 hours when the algos are creating supply and demand areas. So just go to the gym, take a break, come back. Your setup's going to return. As we can see right now, Nasdaq broke the range of what Henry marked out. Market's still digesting the news. What do you think, Henry? Top side got taken out, and now we're settling.
I mean, it's what we said, right? Um, always. Actually, can you open side by side comparison? ES is breaking down its top range. Yeah, like on like yeah, 1 minute.
Yeah. So like I said before, Nasdaq is definitely the stronger index. Volume moving a lot more. So there's a little spread going on, you guys, between ES and Nasdaq. We could also look at the other indices soon, but yeah, it's still in consolidation mode, you guys. 45 minutes away from New York Open. That's what I can see on my end. See if there's any divergence plays. Also, I can bring up the ratios pretty soon, but it's still pretty early, you guys, to bring up the ratios because not much movement's going on. We only had about 100 points on the initial spike, so not much movement. And I guarantee you that we're gonna once opening auction, New York Open settles, there will be greater movement. So just be calm, you guys. Even though there's a little divergence going on between NQ and ES, naturally as humans, I'm not gonna. You want to go short, right? Because you feel like what, I see this divergence. NQ is overpriced. I want to enter right now, but why? Why do you have to be right now? Why not be
I mean,
right?
we just have seen it. Was it on Tuesday or Monday when NQ opened high and just kept on going higher for another 3% rise? And that's the thing. I mean, the human nature is like trading goes so strongly against the human nature. It's like, oh, it's too high. It needs to reverse it. No, it
No.
can just go up for another 10% up to limit up, and you will be sitting there and forcing your opinion upon the market, but the market like it doesn't give you any clues, like any objectively reasonable reasons, yeah,
Yeah.
to go
All it,
short.
yeah, exactly. All the market is just reflecting your reflections on it. It's a mirror. And if you're acting like this with markets, you guys, then you're probably acting like this in your personal life. I'm just saying, because it truly is like that. But if you're able to strengthen your mindset, be more patient, remove the bad habits, then it will definitely help you in your in your personal life, whatever you're moving forward, whether it's with work, sport, with hobbies, with relationships. It's just how it works in life, you guys. It's a revolving door, and treat the market with respect, and then you will see how it will flow into your personal life. So yeah, what we're seeing right now, you guys, a little divergence. ES getting rejected at the top side, but no major news. Hit the tape yet? I think, yeah, no major headlines right now, no speakers just yet, but we do have FOMC Barkin speaking later on. This is half an hour after open. Yeah, so like Henry said, yeah, we have Fed speakers coming in. We could also have some surprise speakers. We could also have Trump, some surprise headlines, because the deal with Iran and the canal hasn't been confirmed. Surprise, surprise, you guys. It's only August, so we don't expect it. Even though when I saw Bessent, the Treasury Secretary Henry, making the comment Tuesday or Wednesday, I thought, okay, things look a little more serious. Maybe we get something, and we got nothing. People were still surprised.
Yeah, I mean they're just dragging it along. And it's like if you have heard the same story from the same two, three guys for 6 months now, then you start believing them. But if you bring a new guy in from whom you didn't have heard the story before, then it's like, oh, maybe there's more to it, right? And this is what I did with Besant. It's like, hey, come on, talk a little bit about it. It's a new voice, fresh voice. Market is not familiar with him. So like, all right, so he gets more credibility, right?
No, yeah, exactly. Yeah,
And
just
guys,
follow.
this is how you do it. You can learn a lot from these guys.
Always learning, always. They're always pulling the same tricks, same headlines, and
Actually,
people.
there's one thing I need to show you. We had in our scenario, wait, where is it? Where's the pen? And guys, look at the yields here. So super strong movement. Look at this, sold off. And that's a strong move for yields. So you can see how sensitive it reacted, and this also shows you even more like the size of the move itself, right? Like how the market reacts.
Yeah, and it
And
makes sense how Nasdaq just keeps floating higher, because also oil sold off. Oil is finding no support. You guys see the yields. So, and then when you tie that into Nasdaq and like the heaviest risk on mover, it makes sense. And as you can see, it's pulling away from ES. I'm just going to quickly put on the ratios, Henry. Just look at the asset rotation and the spread. And as you can see, this is NQ compared to all other indices. And yeah, it's pulling away from ES, pulling away even stronger against Dow Jones, and slightly pulling away from Russell, but not as aggressively, but still, it's stronger than Russell, you guys. So this is just a quick overview where it makes sense. It's making sense that Nasdaq is pulling away when you're comparing it to USD, because these indices are all compared to USD, you guys. And I'm just gonna mention, just update the ranking, how Dow is not still pulling away on the bullish upside, but not as strong as NQ or the other assets. I have yesterday's open marked out. Main reason is because we pushed up from yesterday and we never retested it, not even during the pre-market or the close, and floated higher. So this would be an interesting level to mark out if we can get the retest at some point today. This is what markets do, you guys. When we have overreaction, a strong push in either direction, markets always like to retest it to see if volume or that same trend will come back in. And yeah, you guys, now we're waiting. So any questions, let us know. We don't have open, so I can't look too deeply into the rotation and the ratios. What do you think, Henry? Like any news, anything from your end to look at?
I would say as long as the markets are progressing higher, there's actually not so much to do here. It's just a waiting game, right? And my recommendation would be, guys, zoom in to the small time frame, 1 minute chart, whatsoever. Um, Create the levels that we have shown you from the initial reaction, and as long as the price sticks above and the market also opens higher than this initial movement range, right? Then more times than not, no financial advice, but more times than not, it should have a bullish market. But again, this is something for you. Make some screenshots, learn from it, go back in time. TradingView and most of the other big platforms, they have a review replay option, so you can um, replay, basically relive the whole experience over the last couple of years over and over again to see how the market behaves, how the market reacts. And it's all about preparation, guys. It's all about doing the same things over and over again and living through them. So, and you can only do it if you just don't just stupidly stare at the screens whole day long. But you also need to learn something from it. It's therefore we're always talking with Steve here about having a notebook or journaling or whatsoever. Make a screenshot, print it out, write something on it. So the idea should be that each day you collect a portfolio, you create a portfolio of setups. Not like I don't talk about 100 setups, but basically have start with 3 setups that you like, that fit you, and make a screenshot. Try to find each day one of these setups, print them out, write on them, make some marks. If you have the opportunity, create a video and then rewatch it on the weekends by the end of the month. Same for your journals. And basically it's pattern recognition, guys. Once you have seen the same things happening over and over again in regards to your setup, it will come more naturally. And
Yeah.
then you
And
will also be
also one thing I saw before that some traders do is they record themselves when they're in the trade, and they see how they're reacting, how emotional they are, and rewatch that, you guys. Record, yeah, do it. Like record the stuff for yourself and see how antsy, see how nervous you get compared to days where you're oversizing or where you're doing, or you're like exiting out of the plan where you're supposed to, creating bad habits. So yeah, guys, like just record your emotions and see and compare the days where you're calm to the days where you're nervous, biting your nails, uneasy at the desk. Um, yeah, that's all we can say, you guys. This is all up to you guys for your
yeah,
own.
there's
Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to show something. It's basically, let's say if you feel nervous, right, and you have I don't know, you're sitting there and you're biting your nails and your heartbeat is at 100 plus while you're in a trade, and you trade 10 contracts, whatever, trade in micros, minis, depending on your portfolio size. Let's say it's 10 MNQs, right? The idea should be that you cut it down to 9, and then if you have a watch to see if it changes or not. Okay, it's still at 100 plus. Okay, nothing changes. You cut it down to 7. It goes down to 95. It's just like I'm making stuff up, right? But it's more or less to give you an idea. You cut it further to 5, goes down to 90. And the idea should be that you cut it as long as as necessarily to the size. Let's say by the end you end around 2, and you have up like during news you have like, let's say 70 to 80, right? Something like that. Or let's say 80 to 90, I don't care, but just like whatever your original in a neutral state pulse heartbeat is. And so you should track this behavior with time so you understand your own psychology. Because I can tell you, if you're working in this area higher than 90, some people are actually quite focused on this, but not the whole time, right? You cannot be like fully focused at a 90 plus heartbeat for 5 hours, 6 hours,
No, no
7 hours.
chance. Yeah.
No chance. You can be like, if you are nervous, like during news periods and stuff like that, then it might spike up, right? But again, it should not spike up at it can go up, but not like to over 100 something. So I would say it needs to be under 100 during news events. And the idea is always, if you focus, because here your brain, like, let's say this is your comfort zone, 1 to 2, and you're completely fine to work with, let's say, 50 points, 70 points per day in profits, and you're making, let's say, 200 to 300 bucks, right? Like, your brain is used to this. It's like your comfort zone. So this green, it's your comfort zone. Let's say now you increase your size, and your brain automatically starts to calculate, oh, all right, threefold. I'm making between 500 to 800 per day. Oh, and it's news. Oh, and then your imagination kicks in. Oh, 3 times the leverage, 3 times the size. Oh, and today, huge volatility. What happens if I catch 400, 300 point moves, right? Then you instantly, your brain goes from a neutral, I'm focused on my strategy mode, to I'm super excited, and now I'm thinking it's gonna be 1,500, maybe even 2,000, maybe even a $3,000 day, right? And guys, at this point, if this happens to you, to start to think in this regards, then you lost. Like, this is the worst danger zone that you could be in, because then you're completely detached from the market's realities, and
Yeah.
you're basically in fantasy land where you just focused on the number going up and down. So my recommendation is always only watch the point and tick size. This is how you will be able to scale, because if you know you make every day, day in, day out, like on average, right, without losing days and all the stuff. But let's say you're making 40 points, maybe let's say 30 to 40 points or whatever it is, or
Yeah.
70,
So
or
like stick to
70
like
to
a
100.
point system
Yeah.
instead of the dollar system. Yeah.
And then here, all of a sudden, instead of thinking in points, you think in dollars, and then you increase your size, and
Yeah.
especially during news events that are always sometimes exciting, right? And then you had already, you woke up, you had a cold shower, you completely focused, and then you drink 4 big coffees going into it, and you're all pushed up, and
Oh, it's a
then
heart attack. Oh,
I'm just making stuff
yeah,
up.
yeah.
It's all the stories I got to see over the years. And then you're sitting there basically being completely hyped up and like, oh yeah, NFP, and you have a chat group, or you watch some other live TV, live streaming on YouTube, and everyone is like just talking it up, and big guy, today is the day, right? Then here I can tell you, 7 out of 10 times will blow your account if you have like over leverage, going in with too much excitement, and thinking in terms of dollars instead of points or systems or strategies, right? I mean, you can think in dollars, but my experience is that either you're able to think in dollars per contract, this works, or you think in points. So for me, it was always easy to think in overall points. I didn't care. So this is how you can size up. Or you think in dollars per contract. This is like the real OG way from the 70s, 80s. If you read the old books, they were always talking like, yeah, I made 400, I made 1,000. They always brought it down to dollars per contract, and then depending on the size you have traded, right? This can actually also work, but the new platforms we're trading with, most of them, or actually I don't know which of the retail platforms offers a dollar per contract size. They all only show either total amounts, or they show ticks or points, right? So I don't know which platform currently shows dollar per contract. And therefore, guys, I'm just saying, m- make yourself, make your life a little bit easier. As Steve said, record yourself. If you have a Apple Watch or any sport watch, just record your pulse, your heartbeat, and then just see how you react. And if you see it that it really spikes up, your heartbeat spikes up, you see yourself in the video being completely tensed, and even worse, biting the nails or being completely, I don't know, um, out of order, so to say, then really cut down your size. And the best way is actually not to trade at all during such a news. But if you need to trade, then trade something slow and not NQ. Trade ES, trade like micro ES, right? Or micro DAO, like 50 cents per point, is it right?
Yeah.
50 micro DAO, yeah, 50 cents per point, dollar cents
50,
per
yeah.
point. So if you get a blip of 200 points, it's just $50. And for most of the accounts, if you have a 50K or 100K account, that's fine.
Yeah.
If
No,
not,
that's a
because
good solution. That's really good, Henry. That's something Purdy could even put on the website. Feeling the impulse, take out the dollar and put in the ticks or put in the points. Because you guys will see, you might even trade much better if you take out the dollar. Because for some reason, seeing those dollars move green to red just increases the heart rate. I don't know what it is, Henry, but everyone is just so attached to fiat, so like emotional about it. Where maybe take it off, you guys. Find that feature, go to the brokers, and trade
I
the
mean,
bait.
the thing is, let's say, if people are making, let's say $4,000 per month, right? You're making 4,000 per month. If you are trading, if you're having like $200, $300 days, people are like, oh yeah, so I'm making more or less my salary, right? It's like times 20, because everyone has no losing days. So you basically match your per month salary. But now all of a sudden, you 10x your day, and then people are start to think like, oh, all right, this is almost my yearly salary, and then I can scale, I can buy a car, I can go on vacation. And this is what fools around with the psychology, that once you start to see numbers that are out of your comfort zone, you start to making things up. And that's the beauty in terms of points. You just see the points, you have your system, you think in terms of your system, you think in terms of your trade, all right, what do I expect? It's a much more rational, boring approach, but I can tell you from my experience with all the people I have worked with, it's the one that people hated the most. I don't know why. It kind of goes against human nature not to think in dollars. And I can tell you one thing, automatically you will always transform it back to the dollars. But the more you force yourself to think in points and talk in points, or R's or whatever, R's multiple or whatever, the more you will get detached and go away from the dollar system into a system that is much more boring. And I can tell you one thing, boring is good in trading. That's actually a good thing. And yeah, it's
Yeah, 100% agree. We got we got a 1 hour close right now. Any headlines you seeing, Henry? I don't see anything. Just some Japanese news, because if anyone's trading FX, you guys, and watching the USD JPY pair, there's been a lot of interventions. It's been a lot of volatility. Can't say that Purdy offers to trade JPY, because it does offer some forex pairs. But for any forex traders, you guys just be aware. All the JPY assets, just be very careful. Intervention can happen at any time. It has been for the last few weeks, few months. Lots of volatility in that area. Not much volatility today though with Nasdaq. What I labeled out here on the top and bottom side that I'm watching, this is just the New York Open from Wednesday. Clear rejection, never retested it. And then we also got the New York Open from Thursday and no retest. So the question becomes, Henry, which pivot do we retest first on today? Let's wait and see, my friends.
yeah. But I move you back on again. Look, guys, that's actually the interesting thing with this initial moves,
A
ranges.
little divergence. Yeah.
So ES is completely pulling back, and NQ is still sitting above, but also got sold up. I think they're now a little bit afraid. So all the intraday traders and algos, they now basically took some profits off the table, right, before the market opens. Because everyone is afraid. All right, so, like again, guys, nobody knows what's gonna happen, because the market might react in either. I'm saying we're gonna see a strong movement either to the bull or to the to the bear side. So I don't think it's gonna be. I think we will not be sitting in a range. We're gonna see a move either to the upside or to the downside. This is the thing that I would say. But which way we go, and that's I think actually the reason for the profit taking, because the people who are in the greens, they're like, all right, let's wait for the market to show its hands and to see where it goes.
Yeah, exactly. Wait for it to show its hand. We're getting a little sell-off right now, Nasdaq, but yeah, no headlines, no Fed speakers. Just say we got the Fed speaker coming in half an hour after open. Just be aware of that, you guys. Anything else on the tape I can see? No, nothing. Just it was mixed news. So market's still digesting, coming back into balance. Impulse about 100 points. Small NFP day. Yeah, about 100 points initially, and just coming back into balance right now. So yeah, guys, just be patient. You know. Also, like one other solution I found that helps me, and it's something that a lot of athletes use, and if athletes are using it, guys, remember these guys have the top advisors, top trainers in the world. So whatever they're doing, I would recommend to do the same if you're feeling the impulse, heavy heart,
Steroids.
steroids though. Because there's a reason why these guys do it. They have the best professionals around them. So if you guys want to follow someone, if you like to compare trading as an elite skill set to an elite sports, sports person, woman, man, doesn't matter, then do breath work, you guys. And this is so important. And you see so many athletes doing it, not when they're training. Sure, you can do it when you're training, but in the middle of an important match. So important, you guys. Do some breath work, do some exercises. You'll see this will not only decrease your heart rate, but also decrease your dopamine and your stress levels. And I don't know if Henry was doing breath work back in his day when he was a full-time trader, but it's I never did it in the past until I saw like certain athletes do it. Like I'm a tennis player, you guys, so lot of these, a lot of big athletes, Djokovic, Federer, if you closely watch them, and now that you see them, they're doing a lot of interviews because they're retired, and they talk about breath work all the time. And I always hear top performing traders, either on like S&P Capital or other big firms, currently and in the past, always talk about breath work. So this, anyone can just go online. I don't need to teach you guys. You can teach yourselves, but this has always helped me, Henry.
Yeah, I just want to add that because I've been in this space for a while and also worked with many different people. Um, breath worked for me, but I also worked with some guys who were completely healthy, anti-health, anti-anything. But what they did is they had no contradicting beliefs. So, and this is actually like also on a super deep identity level, and it's a topic by itself. But if you want to be successful, you need to be so single focused about your goals, about who you are, what your trading style is, not listening to anyone, basically just being a machine and executing your trades. And those guys, they didn't care, right? They've been drinking late, they had burgers all day long and stuff like that, like smoked. So super unhealthy. But they had one thing in mind. That was basically their identity, right? So they were like, all right, I don't care about all the other stuff. So they didn't have any contradicting beliefs in this regards. And you could argue maybe if they had done some breath work and being more healthy, maybe they would have been even more successful, right? Who knows? But it worked for them.
Yeah.
And so all the things we're talking about, like having to balance, proper sleep, and those things, it's like we're talking here about the majority of people. Like I would say 95% of you would benefit from those things, right? Would completely benefit. And also one thing that I want to tell you guys, if you're trading, please do me a favor. Shut off YouTube or only watch the educational YouTube stuff. No excitement, no movies, no even worse, other traders where you don't know, do they trade a real account or they just basically blow through an account every day and you don't know. So my recommendations, if you watch people trade, always make sure that you see the same account number every day. This is the only metric you have, right? So if it's like on TraderWeight, Ninja Trader, you can not fake this. This is like if you have the account number, you cannot fake it. If you
Yeah.
go back and they show you that it's a real account, they show the payments, then you will see if they injected some money into the live account or if they withdrew money. You cannot fake the stuff. It's not like MetaTrader or there's some more platforms out there where you can basically on the back end manipulate the numbers. So make sure that if you follow people who trade, that you always see the same account things. No PDFs, no screenshots, because our days with AI and everything and AI and Photoshop, like
Yeah, they don't mean anything. Yeah. Screenshots.
I can create you a $100 trillion account screenshot, and doesn't mean anything, right? So
Yeah, exactly.
this is the only metric you have, guys. It's basically looking out for clues. If they always like if you never see the account numbers and you have the feeling that those guys never lose because they never have losing days, they never have losing trades, right? It's every trade is just a winner, 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 and then it's like just winning or whatever. Then it should make you super cautious, and yeah,
Yeah, we're not saying you guys not to watch any streamers, but just be careful who you watch. If the streamer is forcing you to overtrade, FOMO into random areas, blow your accounts, then reconsider. That's all we're saying. But if the streamer is calm, relaxed, offers some good education, some good advice with certain areas to make note of, then that's fine,
yeah.
guys. Yeah.
But I want to highlight, guys, education. I want to highlight education,
Education, yeah.
not entertainment, not screaming around and risking it all in one trade.
Yeah.
Because then you always need to ask yourself, what's the purpose of him? Is he really is he really trading money? Is it really trading for a living, or is he just trading for education so you can follow along, blow an account and buy new ones, right? And this is like, so you always have to think, what's his agenda there? And if you see he is losing, if you see his number, he is has proper risk management in place, right? He is never oversizing here, then it might be a really good trader actually. I'm not saying this, I'm just saying be careful whom you're watching. And if you see people losing more than, I don't know, 10, 20% of their account in one trade, and then they copy trade at 5 or 20, 50 accounts, then you can be sure that this is probably not a long-term successful trader, but somebody who is just basically living from being a YouTube influencer.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. No, those aren't traders, you guys. Those are entertainers. So know the difference. They're entertainers and they're actual real traders. So filter them out. There's no problem with watching them, connecting with them. It's a lonely business, but it's best to just gather a smaller group of accountability partners, 2 or 3, even up to 5 you guys that have the same, let's say, mindset and goals as yourself. Reach the payout, create some income for yourself, build that skill set. And yeah, I think that's it for today. What do you think, Henry?
Yeah, I just want to say, guys, to highlight, at a point where you're not consistent profitable, and profitable I don't mean by getting payouts, I mean profitable by a point of pure execution plays. How good is your ratio from well executed trades versus um, like miss execution, like trades you should not have taken, where you didn't take a stop loss, where you didn't take profit, where you basically just lucked around and been lucky. Also, your trades in terms of points, not in terms of size. I'm not talking about like sizing, averaging down and then being lucky, exiting the trade with a profit that's bigger than your original profit would be with a smaller size. And make sure talking about being honest to yourself and watch like, all right, I'm making on average 50 points, 40 points, day in, day out, or week in, month out. And then you can consider yourself profitable. And then I'm not talking about the dollar amount, right? So basically really focusing on the execution of the trades themselves. And then you can start thinking about payouts. But what most of the time I'm seeing, everyone is just talking about payouts, and this is how people actually lose. Because again, we come to our example. Where is it? So sorry, Steve. again, right, guys? Don't focus on the big numbers. Don't focus on the payouts. Focus on points. Focus on the small amounts. Accumulate them. Make them work for you, and then with time the payouts will come automatically. But the main focus should be on execution, crystal clear strategies, setups, and all of these things. Yeah, I mean, been a good session, guys. Follow Podia. Make sure to subscribe, like, leave a comment behind so we can get back to you if you have any questions. Use code pre-market down below, other way around, there, no, there, down below, to get 25% off. And yeah, follow Steve. He has a newsletter, descriptions, and link in the descriptions. And yeah, have fun trading. I think we will do it more often with NFPs or maybe some.
Yeah, the big events.
Right,
Yeah,
this
maybe
is
FOMC next.
Yeah, it's quite a fun. Maybe next time even with a Podia account. And yeah, guys, let us know if you like it. And we will see you on Monday. It was right, 9 a.m. original time. So yeah, everyone, take care. Have a good Friday. Again, please do me a favor. Don't trade blindly. Just your opinions. Let the market dictate the path it wants to take. And yeah, everyone, have a good weekend. See you on Monday, 9 a.m. Take care.
Thanks, Henry. Yeah, have a good weekend, everyone.